welcome to the latest edition of Garage Gossip. I'm your boy Corn.
I'm your man Toose.
And we are joined here today by Robo.
It's your boy.
Robo. A big fan of ours.
Thank you for getting that right.
You're, to the people.
Right on time.
So Robo's a big fan. You've watched every single episode.
Right from the start.
You've read the screenplays.
There are many screenplays and I've read them all. Many a times.
Huge fan. Actually, we won't show it on a certain part of Robo's body, but we actually, he has our signatures tattooed.
Yep.
So huge fan, and we're excited to have you here today, Robo.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here, guys. It's been a long time coming. I knew right away I was going to be their first special guest, and you know what? Didn't do it.
Okay. So yeah, we're trying to thin down our garage gossips, so we're gonna keep it brief.
Let's bulk up. Sorry, that's the opposite.
Hey, what's that sound you guys hear? Hey,
someone
is it the sound of the corner?
It's the sound of a clown.
Because it's time for Corn's Corner. Welcome to Corn's Corner, where I'm a corn in the corner, and I'm gonna start over. Welcome to Corn's Corner, a segment where I like to give some advice if our fans are seeking it. Today, we don't have any fan mail or tweets to read, or again, nobody wants any advice from the good old Corn in his corner. But I thought I'd touch on a subject that I've talked to a couple of my good friends recently, and it's about the term and the idea of adulting and our generation and how we struggle with becoming an adult. And I've talked to a lot of people, myself included, that it's hard from going from a kid to being an adult, because even when you're a young adult, you're still kind of a kid, and you don't want to lose that innocence that you have with being a kid, because with being an adult comes a lot of freedom, but it also comes with a lot of responsibilities, a lot of things that kids in our generation really don't want to do. And this whole idea of adulting, I really don't know why we struggle so much with it. Maybe it is because we hold on to that childhood, our innocence, a little too much. As millennials, I kind of speak as in general, but I want to talk specifically about moving out and that kind of like last final hurdle of going into adulthood. And people do it when they go off to college. They kind of do it temporarily, or when you finally move out of your parents' house and you kind of spread your wings, so to speak. That's a big task, and it scares the hell out of me. Even if you're prepared for it financially, emotionally, it's still scary, and it's really scary. But the advice I want to give is that you really shouldn't be doing it alone. And I feel like that's what is the scariest thing about it, is that you're becoming an adult and it's independent. You're supposed to be independent, but I don't think independence means you do it alone. If you're doing it alone, I don't think you're doing it right, because nobody in this world does really anything alone. You do your job and put in hard work. That's on you to be independent to do that. But as far as moving out and paying bills and learning those responsibilities, rely on your family, rely on your friends to help you through that if you're scared and if you're frightened. Like I said, you really shouldn't be doing it alone, because more likely than not, you're not alone. So just remember that. I've been Corn, and this is my corner. Uh-oh. Do you hear that? Do you hear that?
There's no sound.
Do you hear it? Do you hear it? Do you hear it?
Toose on a tantrum. I think it's a crowd favorite at this point. I know I've actually heard from several people that are not us or you that they enjoy Toose on a tantrum.
I do enjoy it. I never even said that to you, and I like it. It's amazing.
So what the is going on, America? We have two incompetent people running for president. We've got people dressing up as clowns, terrorizing the streets. And the Chicago Cubs are World Series favorites. If this doesn't mean the end is coming, I really don't know what it means.
Well, it's definitely going downhill. We're not at the bottom yet, but Bread Boy
we're getting there.
Is running for president. So
I'm trying to think
hope.
realistically
There's
here,
hope.
okay?
This Bread Boy is real.
I'm not saying
his views.
I'm not
on gluten
saying
and bread. It's all there.
Thank you.
I'm not saying he's not real. Obviously, he's real. We saw him here in the flesh last week. But he is not a realistic candidate. Down to two candidates, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. And I see them both as being very incompetent leaders. Who knows, though? Okay, I can sit here and say that maybe one of them becomes president and becomes a fantastic president. Who knows? That's that. And kind of branching off of that is this idea that I got while I was sitting in class today. We're reading this book about Italian immigration into the United States, specifically Chicago, in the late 1800s, early 1900s. And what I kind of have a question for you guys, because I was sitting there and I was thinking, when someone asks me to identify myself, I say I'm Polish. You know, I was born in Poland. My entire family's from Poland. I follow Polish traditions here. So I was going to ask Corn, what do you identify as?
If you were to ask me,
Yeah, what are you?
I would honestly say I'm American.
You would,
That's the correct
okay.
answer.
I would say I'm
And
American.
Kurt?
I would say I'm American, but that's just because I am.
Okay.
With descendants of German, Polish,
See,
Russian.
that went a lot differently than I had planned. I had planned for you both to say what your descendants are from, you know, what the mix that you're from. And so I was going to ask you then, why didn't you say American? But because you said that, that kind of foiled my plan.
This is actually a conversation I had in one of my anthropology classes. So, and she's like, if you say you're German and you were born in America, you're wrong. You're American with German descent.
Right. And that's how I think that's kind of a problem that we have in this nation is with identity. You know, because we have ancestors that come from everywhere. So naturally, I think people are inclined to say that I am a mix of this, and this. But why not say you're American? And I had a lot more things to say, but you guys went with a different answer. Like with the answer that I wasn't, but it's a good answer, but the one I wasn't expecting. And I was going to see what your thoughts were
I do
on
think
that.
most people would say they are German. If you're asking an American though. I believe if they went to Germany, they wouldn't go, "Oh, I'm German." Well, with this thick accent, they obviously know they're from a different place or have lived the majority of their life there.
Right. And that's you bring up a good point, because if you go somewhere else, let's say you go to Germany or France, someone asks you, you say you're American, you're from America. But then, so why here do people say that they're not American? I don't know if that makes sense.
I think a lot of people are also maybe, I don't know, I can't speak for a lot of people, but maybe they're ashamed to say they're American, that they'd rather put their other nationalities first.
Oh, that's fair.
We're not in the best spot right now.
No,
we are in the spotlight in this.
Right.
It's gonna
That's
be
fair.
rough.
Yeah, because seeing things on the internet and being in different countries, being in the different countries that I have been in, you usually get the typical, like, Americans are greedy, violent, fat. I don't know. Like, just, you don't hear very good things globally in terms of what they feel or how they view Americans, I should say. So maybe that is part of it, is that they're not.
It's one of the things that kind of makes me nervous to travel outside of the country too, just because I will stand out like a sore thumb. I've never been to Europe or anywhere that isn't U.S. soil, and it's kind of like can I get a cheeseburger, please? And they're like, what the hell's that? Or they give it to me, and it's not what I expect, and they don't speak English. It's something that's, I guess it's could be culture shock, you know, something maybe I'll experience one day and hopefully get over that fear.
And I think other countries too, like Poland, have a better, I think you said it earlier, more pride in your nationality, in your home. You know, I don't know. I feel like I only say I'm American because I really don't know what I am, descent-wise. And maybe that's a little ignorance on my part. And maybe that's what a lot of people experience too, is that they're just incompetent fools like Corn.
I wouldn't go so far as to say ignorant, though, because maybe you really don't know. Maybe, honestly, just everyone came from so many different backgrounds that it just, at this point, it doesn't, like, you're going to walk around saying, what, I'm 3% German, 12% Irish, 4% Spanish, and a quarter Cherokee, because everyone's a quarter Cherokee somehow, yeah. But it just always comes up.
I would identify as that. It's true, they do have long lists, and it wasn't until I was 18 and my oldest brother was like 28, was we're 10 years apart, we found out we were Russian, part Russian. We have descendants that came from there. Babushka. I take that more from my Polish heritage, though. And I'm sure it goes even farther than that. If you even do one of those genome tests, it all starts in Africa.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, human life starts in Africa. And yesterday there were tens of thousands of people protesting that law, because they were trying to sign a new law into effect that deals with abortions and miscarriages. And there were tens of thousands of men and women protesting outside the government business. Actually, it shut down governments and schools and businesses for that day. And so, like, there's certain things that I am not proud of being from Poland, like those exact laws. 300-year-old patriarchal views, where men still decide for everything. I mean, so there's stuff to not be proud about, but I think there's stuff to be proud about if you are American. I mean, I'm sure there's certain things that you find in this country that you are proud of. All things progressive, really, in this country are something to be proud about, because I'd say majority of the world don't have the same kind of rights that people of all sorts have here.
Yeah.
So I think that's something to at least be proud of. I don't know, but all right. So this wasn't necessarily a tantrum of sorts. This is more of a discussion, more of a thought, more of a hey, let's talk about this kind of thing. And I think I enjoyed where we went with that. I think we
went the opposite direction.
It went the opposite direction, but we
went somewhere.
We worked it in. So that was Tucson a Tantrum featuring the thoughts of Robo and Corn. So thank you guys for that. And now I think we're going to move on to Robo's segment.
Oh. But this branches off one of my favorite segments, and one of the many micro foundations of Toose and I's friendship. I enjoyed his Toose's Tracks segment because that's what we do. We send things back and forth, and I give him what is called a Robo review.
Best things in the world.
Yes.
Honestly.
A completely biased opinion about the song that he has sent me. So I figured I'd bring that here, based on something I like, rather than something that he sent me that I might like, that I want to expose to the rest of the world, much like Toose's Tracks was for. And what I want to tell you guys about today is the new Danny Brown CD. Do you guys listen to Danny Brown?
I do not.
I've actually never heard a song from him, but I know he's cool.
I'm surprised.
He's done work with K-Flay.
I'm really surprised.
You guys like that K-Flay.
Really surprised you went in this direction.
Really?
I was not expecting something like Danny Brown.
No, you were expecting something metal.
I honestly was.
And I don't think that caters to everybody. So that's why I wanted to bring, and not that this does, like, if you've listened to Danny Brown, I would love to install his voice like as my car horn, and just be like, because he like honks and does like, and he does all those sounds that just somehow don't ever get old, and I love it. But he came back, it's about like 3 years since his last CD, with something that is just so unorthodox, experimental, noisy. It's kind of weird because he came off of like a party anthem CD. A song called Dip, which is pretty much just about, raving, getting messed up. You're sweating, but you're hot and you're cold and you're passing out and you don't wake up, don't know where the hell you are. This is a little more serious on this CD. It handles things like drug abuse, mental illness, and all that sort of stuff, but in a more mature way. If you want, I'm not sure if mature is right. You listen to his music, and I don't know if it's personal. There's even things about drug dealing. I'm sure he's from a pretty grimy place in Detroit, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's dealing drugs or had dealt drugs before his success. He said like it's been a while because he writes about life, and I'm sure those party anthems were, but about what he has done in the past. I don't know. It's not even the CD. If you have an open mind, I'd recommend listening to it. It's called Atrocity Exhibition. It has like a really warped looking cover of his face. Like I think part of his skull is showing. It would turn me off if I wasn't. I didn't listen to as much music as I did. And think you have to go into an open mind because everything is. It's noisy and all that. But the one I want people that I think will like the track that I want to let people know about is called Really Dough. And it's a monster because it has Kendrick Lamar, Absol, who I haven't heard from in a long time, and Earl Sweatshirt. It's the posse track to end all posse tracks.
Whoa. Okay. Wait. What?
Yes.
Oh my God.
And this, I thought maybe you guys would have heard it. But yeah, it's a 5-minute cut. Starting with Danny Brown, you got Kendrick Lamar on the hook, which actually I just found out today. It's technically a Kendrick song. Danny Brown had this worked out in the studio, didn't know what to do with it. Kendrick heard it, took it, made it his baby, gave it back, and then they called up Absol and Earl. And it's just like,
that's so cool.
But I recommend it's on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. Just you like rap and you haven't heard it, check it out. But Earl comes back with a vengeance. Haven't heard him since I Don't Like Shit, Don't Go Outside. Kicks the door open and he's just like,
Here.
I still got it. He's a Danny Brown fan. Big Danny Brown fan. I didn't know what the hell I was listening to at first. I was just like, oh my god. But, you know, I think it's a very well lubricated album. And I would insert it into my belly if these screws come out.
That's where the Robo review is coming in.
I need the drink. Is this the end?
So thank you, Robo, for that Robo review.
You're very welcome.
I am sure the fans will appreciate a bringing back of an older segment that you made your own, which I really like, because I always appreciate your thoughts on music.
Yeah.
You're very
music makes the world go around.
If you want to know good music, you just listen to this man. This man is very intelligent when it comes to music. He knows what to listen to, and he won't guide you the wrong way. He won't make you listen to crap just to make you listen to crap. He doesn't want that.
Every once in a while. But I will let you know it's crap. And it's crap.
Okay, that's fair.
There's a reason why you should be listening to this crap.
That's fair. So, that was Robo Review.
Thank you, Robo. Welcome back. This is unfortunately, our last segment with Robo. Robo's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, I have.
But we're going. And I'm wet because of it.
Oh, PG.
But we're quack that out. But we're gonna be doing a segment called Acting Out. This is for all three of us here today. What we're gonna do is, if you've seen our earlier episode where we did impressions, it's gonna be similar to that. For example, Robo's gonna leave the room. I'll give Toose an objective to act out. He can perform it verbally, physically, maybe emotionally somehow. And
can you cry?
Robo is gonna have to guess what that is.
You're gonna be a baby trying to say his or her first word.
Okay.
Go gaga. He's a grown man. Minus a couple years. He's a baby.
Mama.
He's a baby who just learned his first word.
Mama.
That's it. That's how we play the game. Okay. All right. Okay. That's how you do it.
I can dig on that. Wow, you actually got it. He was afraid you weren't going to get it.
Now, you go in there. You're going to be a koala who's giving birth.
Good. Watch how perfectly I perform this. Okay?
Okay. So we are foreplay. Oh, you are. Let me see what you phrase. You are holding on for dear life. You are breastfeeding. Going a little too far there.
Think animal.
Okay, he's a monkey of sort. He's an ape, chimpanzee. Okay. You're strangling an arm. I mean, that's all you're doing to me.
You are a tree.
Okay, you are a sloth. You are a. Quit guiding me.
Corn, stick to the first thing so he gets it. So he gets the actual first thing.
You are a koala bear hanging on to a palm tree in Australia. You are giving birth. You are a koala bear giving birth.
Yes.
That was all very awkward.
See? Perfection.
Oh, that was not perfection.
It was his first guess.
That was far from my first guess.
A cab driver.
Okay.
Who is trying to hide the fact that he's an alien. That's a lot.
So it ain't gonna be easy. Maybe the hardest one is I'm creating the scene in my head. Allow me to render. Hello, human. Where are you going today?
I am in a taxi being driven by an alien.
It's too easy. Too easy.
So that was acted out with
Acting out.
So that was acting out with
Acted
Robo.
out.
So that was acted out.
No, that was acting out.
Acted out.
This has been. So that was
Acted
acting
out.
out with our good friend Robo.
So that was the 6th episode of this
Really?
season of Garage Car.
6.
We are a month and a half into
They've been
this,
keeping
and
us
we have brought on our 3rd live guest. So we're We're betting at 500 right now. You know, we're 3 for 6. That's a good ratio.
Thanks, so,
and we appreciated you on the show very much.
No problem.
Many
guys.
laughs, of
I'm doing
course.
Double handshakes here.
Many laughs.
Kiss.
So thank you for joining us so
You're
much.
welcome.
Absolutely.
Until next time, I have been Toose.
And I've been Corn
Been Robo.
The entire
time.
Except when I was a cab driver alien. And you were
Koala.
kind of.
and I was a baby.
For a majority of the time.
most of the time.
Majority of the
There
time.
you go. Okay.
And until
So-
next time, complete it.
You need to cut it.
Broke through. See, we gave birth. Ready? No matter who I am, I'm shining bright to see.